friends, I'm Dr. Sneha Nair and welcome to Bioverse. So friends, we were discussing chapter 2 of NCERT, that is human reproduction, and in this series today we are discussing male reproductive system. So let's get started. So friends, male reproductive system, it consists of different organs that function together and helps in reproduction. We can divide the entire male reproductive system into four main parts. Number one is a pair of testes. So, friends, testes are the primary sex organ. So, we have in male reproductive system, the first is a pair of testes. A pair of testes. The second important part that we have in the male reproductive system is um, accessory ducts. So there are a number of ducts that helps in transfer of sperm. Uh, we will discuss them in detail. The number third is we have different glands that are present that really releases various secretions that helps in reproduction. And the last one is the external genitalia. External genitalia. So let us discuss all these parts one by one. First, we'll start with the testes. Testes. So, friends, the testes are the primary sex organ present in the male. When I say it is primary sex organ, what does that mean? See, the sex organs can be divided into two types. Primary sex organ is the organ that helps in formation of gametes. All right. And secondary sex organs are the other structures that do not form gametes but play important role in reproduction. So testes are primary sex organ that helps in formation of gametes. Now tell me, which is the male gamete? Yes, so male gamete is sperm. So testes helps in formation of sperm. Formation of sperm. Children, there is a term for formation of sperm or production of sperm, and that is spermatogenesis. So, next time when I say spermatogenesis, we'll say testes helps in spermatogenesis, that is formation of sperms. And that is why it is the primary sex organ. Now, where these testes are present, you see the entire male reproductive system, it is present in the pelvis region. What is pelvis region? It is the lower abdominal region. All right. But the testes, they descends down and they are present in a pouch-like structure called as scrotum, which is hanging downwards from the abdominal cavity, lower abdominal cavity. So if suppose this is the pelvis region and this is the lower abdominal cavity, so there are two pouch-like structure. There is this pouch-like structure called as scrotum. This pouch-like structure, it is called as scrotum. And in this pouch-like structure, testes are present. All right, so we have one pair of testes that are present in the scrotum. So these are testes, one pair of testes that is present in the scrotum. What is a scrotum? Scrotum is a pouch-like structure. Pouch-like structure hanging downwards. Hanging downward from the abdominal cavity. Hanging downwards from abdominal cavity. All right. Now, what I said, that testes, they are present in these pouch-like structures called as scrotum. Now, friends, can you tell me why testes are present in the scrotum? So this is a very interesting fact that the testes, they were not always in the scrotum. During the fetal development, that is when a male child, it is in mother's womb, so that during the fetal life, the testes, they are present in the abdomen. All right. But at the time of the seventh month of the fetal development, that is when mother is 7 months pregnant and the fetus is 7 months old inside the mother's womb, at that time the testes, they descends down from the abdomen to the scrotum. All right, and after that they are present in the scrotum only. But why testes descend down in the scrotum? What is the significance? Now, this is very important question asked a number of times in various exams. So the testes, they descend down into the scrotum because scrotum provides 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius temperature lower than the body temperature. Now, friends, what is normal body temperature? Yes, it is 37 degrees Celsius. So the temperature that is present in the scrotum is 2 to 0.5 degrees Celsius lower than the body temperature, that is approximately 34.5 to 35 degrees Celsius. And now this lower temperature, what is the role of this lower temperature? This temperature is required for spermatogenesis, that is formation of sperms. If this temperature is not present, if there is a higher temperature, higher than 34 to 35 degrees temperature, then what will happen? Then spermatogenesis will not take place. And in absence of spermatogenesis, that means if the gamete is not present in the male, if sperms are not present in the male, then will the male will be sterile or fertile? So male will be sterile. That means the male will not be able to reproduce because male will not have sperms. All right. So that is why the it is very important for the testes to descend down into the scrotum. And when does it happen? It happens during the seventh month of the fetal development. All right. And then the testes, they are present in the scrotum, and scrotum provide them a favorable temperature so that spermatogenesis can take place. But let us say if the testes doesn't descend down in the scrotum, then what will happen? Then the person will be sterile, and this condition is known as cryptorchidism. All right. So the testes, they are present in the scrotum. Why they are present in the scrotum? Because scrotum provides suitable temperature for spermatogenesis. And what is the suitable temperature? It is 2 to 2.5 degrees lower than the body temperature. Scrotum provide suitable temperature for spermatogenesis, which is 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius lower than the body temperature, the temperature. All right. And when testes descends down into the scrotum, so during fetal life, they are present in abdominal cavity, and during seventh month of the development, and during they are present in the abdominal cavity, and during seventh month of fetal development, during 7 month of fetal life or during 7 month of fetal development, they descend down into the scrotum. And what will happen if they don't descend down, these testes, they don't descend down into the scrotum? It will lead to a condition called as cryptorchidism. So friends, what is cryptorchidism? It is a condition when testes doesn't descend down into the scrotum. Condition when testes They doesn't descend down. Doesn't descend down into the scrotum. And what will this lead to? This will lead to sterility in male. That is, the male will not be able to produce sperm and they will be sterile. They will not be able to reproduce. So uh, this cause sterility in males. Sterility in males. That means they are unable to produce sperm. They are unable to produce sperm. All right. So this is very, very important. Number of questions have been asked from this topic. And as you can see on the screen, a number of times questions have been asked, like in board exams, also in NEET. Like in 2017 and 19, it have been asked that why do testes in human males descend down into the scrotum? So now you know the answer. It descend down so that spermatogenesis can take place, as spermatogenesis require 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius lower than the body temperature. All right, then the next kind of question that is asked from this topic is testes are located outside the abdominal cavity in the scrotal sac. Give reason. So you know the reason. So that scrotum can provide lower temperature and spermatogenesis can take place. Similarly, it was asked that what is cryptorchidism? How does it affect fertility in males? So cryptorchidism, as I told you, it's a condition when the testes they doesn't descend down into the scrotum, and this leads to sterility in male. Why? Because in this condition, the male are unable to produce sperm because the testes they do not have lower temperature. The testes do not have suitable temperature for spermatogenesis. As a result, spermatogenesis doesn't take place, and males they are sterile. All right. Also, few questions have been asked in NEET that the descent of testes in the scrotum is essential because. So you know the answer because yes, it provides a lower temperature for sperm production. Okay, spermatogenesis inhibited by. Can you tell me the answer? Yes, it's C, high scrotal temperature. What is the function of conditions is associated with undescended testes? So you know the answer. It is very good. It is option C. So these kind of questions have been asked. Okay, friends. So let us move further. So the testes they are present in the scrotum, and now the testes they are covered with a layer, with a protective layer called as tunica albuginea. Okay, so that this is the pink color structure that you can see here. It is tunica albuginea. It is projected inwards. Okay, it is projected inwards, and it divides testes into number of compartments. All right. So this tunica albuginea it divides testes into these compartments. They are there are about 250 compartments which are formed due to this inward movement of the tunica albuginea. And now in these compartments, uh, there are highly coiled tubules present called as seminiferous tubules. So if this is a testes, this is tunica albuginea, which divide testes into various compartments called as testicular lobules, and these compartments they are called as testicular lobules. So, on an average, there are about 250 testicular lobules in a testes, and in each lobule, in each compartment, seminiferous tubules are present. What is a seminiferous tubule? So, seminiferous tubule is a highly coiled tubule that is present in these testicular lobules, as you can see in this diagram. So, what is this? This is seminiferous tubule. These are seminiferous tubules. Here in this diagram, we can see these are seminiferous tubules present in the compartment. They are highly coiled tube-like structure. They are highly coiled tube-like structure. All right. Now, what is the structure? So what is the role of these seminiferous tubule? Friends, this is the place where actually spermatogenesis takes place. Let us take a cross section of this seminiferous tubule. If this is the seminiferous tubule, let us just cut a section of seminiferous tubule. So this is a cross section of seminiferous tubule. So in the seminiferous tubule, very important cells called as spermatogonia are present. Okay, in the seminiferous tubule, what is present? There are very important cells over here called as spermatogonia. Spermatogonia. What is spermatogonia? Spermatogonia are the cells that will give rise to sperm. Cells that will give rise to sperm. So these spermatogonia, they are present inside the seminiferous tubule. What else is present in the seminiferous tubule? So, see, this is the lumen of the seminiferous tubule. If it is a tube-like structure, it is like this. So, in the margins, these spermatogonia are present, which are also called as the primordial germ cells. That is, they give rise to, they multiply, they divide, they become mature and give rise to the sperm. And there are one more special type of cells which are like this pyramid kind of shape, triangular shape. They are called as Sertoli cells. Sertoli cells. These are Sertoli cells. So Sertoli cells, they are pyramid-shaped cells that give nourishment to these developing sperm. Okay, so spermatogonia, it will give rise to the sperm. And what is the function of Sertoli cell? Sertoli cell will give nourishment to the developing sperm. Developing sperm. All right. So because Sertoli cells, they provide nourishment to the developing sperm, they are also known as nurse cells. All right. And the spermatogonia, they give rise to the sperm. Now, as we have discussed that there are 2 to 3 seminiferous tubule inside a testicular lobule. So let us say there is a testicular lobule in which 2 to 3 seminiferous tubules are present. That means they are present like this. And in these seminiferous tubules, we have the spermatogonia, that is primordial germ cells that give rise to sperm, and we have these pyramidal shaped cells called as Sertoli cells that helps in providing nourishment to the developing sperms. Now, the space between these the space present between these seminiferous tubule is called as interstitial space. So in this interstitial space, special type of cells are present called as interstitial cells. Right here, interstitial cells are present. Where are interstitial cells are present? In between the space present between these seminiferous tubules. So in interstitial space, interstitial cells are present. They are also called as Leydig cells. They are also called as Leydig cells. So the Leydig cells, they help in formation of male androgens, that is testosterone. The main androgen here is the testosterone. You must be aware of this fact that the male have male reproductive hormone that is present in the male is called as testosterone. So the Leydig cells, they help in formation of testosterone. Uh, in males, number of hormones are released. That group of hormone is called as androgen, and the most important androgen that is present in the male is a testosterone, which helps in development of sperms. It is also responsible for secondary sexual characters in male. So this testosterone is produced by Leydig cells or interstitial cells, which is present in the interstitial space. All right. So friends, I hope this much part is clear to you. What we have studied today, we have studied that the male reproductive system consists of one pair of testes, which is present in a pouch-like structure called as scrotum, which provide 2 to 2.5 degrees temperature lower than body temperature that helps in spermatogenesis. In absence, when the testes they doesn't descend down into the scrotum, it leads to a condition called as cryptorchidism, in which the male are sterile as they are unable to produce sperm. Then we have also discussed that the testes, they are covered by a tough layer called as tunica albuginea, and the tunica albuginea, it move inwards and divide testes into various compartments. These compartments are called as testicular lobules, and in each testicular lobule, highly coiled, one, two, three highly coiled tubules are present called as seminiferous tubule. The seminiferous tubule is the actual site of sperm formation, that is spermatogenesis. Inside the seminiferous tubule, there are two types of cells present. Number one, the primordial germ cells or spermatogonia. The spermatogonia are the cells that will form the sperms. The spermatogonia, they undergo growth. They form primary spermatocyte. The primary spermatocyte undergo meiosis and form secondary spermatocyte, which forms spermatids, which mature and form spermatozoa. All this we'll discuss in detail in the topic spermatogenesis. But for now, we should know that inside the seminiferous tubule, there are these special cells called as primordial germ cells or spermatogonia present, which give rise to the sperm. Then the second important cell that is present inside the seminiferous tubule is the Sertoli cells, which are the nursing cells which provide nourishment to these developing sperm. And in between the seminiferous tubule, there is a space called as interstitial space. That is the space present between the seminiferous tubule. And in interstitial space, interstitial cells, also called as Leydig cells, are present. Leydig cells helps in development of male androgen, production of male androgen. What is androgen? It is group of hormones that are released in males, and the most important one is the testosterone. The testosterone is responsible for spermatogenesis, and it is also responsible for secondary sexual characters in male. So this is all for today's lecture. I hope this much part is clear to you. In next lecture, we will discuss about accessory glands. We will discuss about glands present in the male reproductive system, and we'll also discuss about the external genitalia. So this is all for today's lecture. Hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for the next lecture. Bye bye.